All right. Hope you're doing well. This is Tom here. Just a couple different things just to make sure you are kind of grounded and supported and kind of get a visual for just a couple different things for the classes. We kind of get things started. And as always, and especially during the beginning of the term, if you have questions, reach out to me, drop me an email, give me a phone call if you want to set up a Zoom meeting. The more you feel like, okay, I know what's going on, I know how to kind of work things. If you're new to Canvas, a lot to figure out there. It's not too complicated, I don't think, but it can be if you're not familiar with working within these kind of systems before. So I am here to help you, to support you. So reach out if need be. So in Canvas, in your 201 class, you got weekly folders. Week 0 folder, you'll find the real world textbook. You just click on it and it takes you to the access to the textbook itself. I'll just kind of walk through it. So when you signed up for the class, there was a course fee. Part of the course fee is for this called an inclusive access for an ebook. So every student who registers for the class has this ebook. It's already in your Canvas. So it's all set. So you just check one of these courses. I have 4 of them. They're all 44704. You're just going to, regardless of what CRN or course number you're in, just click on that 44, just whatever the intro to Social is. For some reason, I have 4 different 201 classes this term, and for some reason they named them all the same. Oh, as far as the CRN. So then you just click on the book, boom, read now. Couple different features that you can kind of get into with the book. If you can click over here, go to the main menu, and you can select, basically just go to the table of contents, for example, scroll down, go by chapter. You can go that way. You can have an audio reader as well, text to reader. So that may be a useful function for you as well. I haven't played around with this too much. There's different ways of taking notes if you want to take notes. I don't know all those kind of details, but that's just kind of the basic general idea there. Okay, so what I wanted to show you as well is for this first week, we're going to have some discussion boards throughout the course of the term. And most often the discussion boards are about I pose a question to the entire class. And the goal and the objective is to kind of like summarize some course content, concepts, theories, ideas, demonstrate your understanding of some course material, and then usually an application into something in the real world, past or present. And I provide direction on sort of where to make that application or what to make that application to. I'll show you a rubric here in a second. The key to discussion boards after this first week of the attendance requirement, FYI, the attendance requirement is due by the stated due date and time. You need to complete it by that due date and time, or else you'll be dropped from the class. It's kind of like attending the first week of class. All students are to attend each class session during the first week of the term. And we do that for a variety of different reasons. And so make sure you complete your discussion board post by the stated date and time, or else I will remove you, drop you from the class, and you may not be able to get back in. So do that. And with the first week's discussion board, you're going to have your introduction. I'll provide some information about what should be included in your introduction, and then respond to a couple of peers. That's not a requirement, but I really encourage you to do that for this first discussion board. For all future discussion boards, you're going to have the post. You're going to be responding to a post. And as I said, it's going to be demonstrating knowledge. You're going to be defining, explaining, and applying terminology, concepts, theories that we're working with. So that's part 1. Part 2 is peer responses. And each time we have a discussion board, you have to have 2 peer responses. And it's more than just like clicking off a box and going, hey, nice job, great work, really appreciated that. I mean, that's all nice to include, don't get me wrong, but you need to demonstrate comprehension, understanding, adding to the conversation, asking a question in return, making additional application to other things from the class. So it's making linkages, kind of like we do in a classroom session, but here we're in an online format. So what I'm looking for, and I'm grading your post in the future past this introduction one, is depth of explanation, content that you're defining, explaining, clarifying, your applications are strong. And then on the response side, that your responses are detailed, sufficiently detailed, they're adding to the conversation, they're bringing in additional concepts, theories, ideas from earlier in the term, maybe making other applications, and then posing a question back to the student who made the original response, posing a question, additional thought, but definitely a question back. And that could be anyone in the class could respond to that, or that student could respond to that question. And here's the rubric I will use. The point values won't, these are like percentages. Kind of the general idea, if you kind of look through this, is, okay, there's the comprehension side. So it's clear, it's organized, it's understandable, and provides sufficient information. Engaged, then there's sort of completing it by the stated date and time. Then there's the overall engagement, so that things are, the posts are responses to posts, that they're meaningful, they're detailed, they're adding to the conversation. And as I mentioned, to have a question for the original creator of the post, just kind of like facilitate, the person may not respond to that, but at least it provides an opportunity and a space for someone to respond to the question. It's to your question. And then general writing mechanics, so that it's clear, it's understandable. If you're citing sources, bring those in there, whatever it may be. But you're providing, that it's written in a way that communicates, that's easy to understand, decipher, it's clear, it's concise, and all that kind of good stuff. So depth of information, comprehension, depth and understanding of information, responses are adding to the discussion, making additional applications, following up with a question. And then finally, it's sort of just the general writing style is one that's easy to understand, it's organized, it's clear, and those kind of components. On your first, starting on week number 2, we have our first discussion post. I will also add some additional, put some word count for both your post and your responses, that your posts need to be a certain length and your response is a certain length as well. All right, so hopefully that just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of clarified, add a little bit more information. And it's like, okay, you can have a better understanding of what my expectations are and how to sort of, how to engage in the discussion boards themselves. So some people utilize them more than others. It's a way to connect. It's a way to kind of hear from your peers in the class. You can learn from other people's responses. Yeah, and if anything in the class is mentioned before, I believe I know it's in the syllabus, but adhering to the principles of community, and respecting diverse viewpoints and perspectives, engaging in conversations in ways that are valuing and supporting each other, that avoiding comments that denigrate or devalue others, that attack people, versus addressing the ideas that are being presented. So the principles of community are really important to adhere to throughout your educational experience and throughout kind of the workforce, wherever you may be. But for NARC class, probably the discussion boards is where that's going to come up the most. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, have a great rest of your day, and catch you next time.